All right, and today's patron shout out is Jermaine Thomas. Thank you so much for being a patron. We greatly appreciate it. It helps us all here, helps maintain the channel. Yeah.
It's a great privilege to come across somebody who in a lifetime will support you through troubles and bridges. But Jermaine, it's almost like, sorry.
Can you just start singing again, please?
No, Jermaine, you were helping us so he doesn't sing. That's what's happening.
Thanks, Jermaine. All the best. God bless if you believe in him.
Welcome to the Horror Hour.
We all go a little mad. Get you.
You are Here's Johnny.
All right, let's start this episode off. So, all right, hello, welcome back to the Horror Hour, place we discuss, we debate, we disagree on all things horror. I'm one of the co-hosts here, Yutaka. Hello, how's it going? It's hot under these lights. So first off, welcome back, Pugapillar. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. I am loving George's shirt today. I have to ask him, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
There's no such thing as Team Jacob in this world. It's always Team Edward. We don't speak about Jacob in this house. Thank you.
Where the hell are you been, Loka?
Oh, gosh. I'm asking you to kiss me. No, why? Anyway, don't get me started.
Okay, I won't mention anything else. I'm doing well. Yutaka, you seem to be doing well. Yes. George, how are you?
I'm well. Also, you could call me Samara because I'm so well.
No.
Whoosh,
you can't do puns. No. Have you seen The Ring?
No.
Oh.
That's why it went over my head. I was like, what?
She's the girl from The Ring and the Well.
He's not seen it. So
I need to watch that before I watch Scary Movie 3. That's the one priority.
Yes, you do. But also, you can't do puns. You tried though. I'm going to give you I'll give you a solid 6 out of 10. I know you're used to a 9, but I'm going to give you a 6.
I mean, it was well done.
Thank you.
But yeah, George. So, and my other co-host George, what's been new? Where you been? How you been?
Where have I been? I went to Hamleys today, which is the world's largest toy store.
I went toys or normal toys?
They were children's toys.
Okay.
There were lots of youths in there, and I went to the Barbie section and played Billie Eilish's.
Okay.
And just stood in front of the dolls, and I was like, I'm not paying these prices. They're a lot cheaper on Amazon, and they're from the so I left, and then I ordered some on Amazon.
The Barbie dolls in Australia, $120
for the Barbie movie ones.
For the Barbie movie ones,
yeah,
$120.
Yeah, it's like $65 for the one them here. 65, pounds. Sorry,
mental.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Liam was like, you should have got them when you're in the US, because apparently they're like cheaper.
Because they are cheap. I think, didn't Liam say they were like $40 here?
Yeah.
They are.
That's still expensive. I don't understand. I understand why Sid became Sid, from Toy Story, how he started torturing the dolls. I get it. Too expensive, man.
Well, speaking of torturing things, we are going to talk about a series that has probably tortured so many people. Not Saw. That'll happen eventually, but a series that also goes very gruesome with the kills and the deaths, and it's actually a beloved classic. We're going to talk about the Final Destination series. Talk about our favorite moments, the moments that really got us, the moments that maybe even saved your life.
Did anyone's life get saved?
I think all of ours from one scene.
I mean, there's multiple scenes, but sure. That's not just one particular scene. There is
one particular scene that I think after everyone, you know what? We'll just start off with one of my favorites. I'm going to go first because this scene, I remember seeing this in cinemas and my next thought was, I am never driving behind a log truck.
You can't start with number 2 without talking about number 1.
Yes, I can. I'm saying that because we're talking. You. I'm just giving you this because you asked. Like what scene say like that?
Yeah, we wouldn't. Your part wouldn't. Hey,
We'll start with the first one. Where would you like to start? We didn't prepare.
I'm kind of glad David isn't here today because he would have laughed at the baby dying in the airplane.
The baby and the man with the
and the disabled man.
yeah. Had to be a real
I
fucked
forgot
up
about
guard
that.
to take
You
down
Yeah.
this plane.
all terrible.
Literally wouldn't fly today, you know, doing
I don't
something
even know
like
how
that.
you knew anybody who was in the airplane. I truly don't remember anybody except the two girls who were like the two were they cheerleaders? I don't know.
Can you trade
People
seats
sitting
with
in
us
front
so
of-
that we can
Huh?
those two? Can you trade seats with us so I can sit next to
Those
them?
two.
Yeah. Do you not remember
I-
the woman they released the deleted scene recently? I don't know if you saw it. The other woman who was on it, she goes, "And I'm telling you right now, that man there is not real."
that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can f***ing die with them or not.
Okay, that was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Somebody made a painting of it.
What?
Oh, of the woman or of the Found Destination thing?
Of that woman. And
Oh.
they were like, as they were showing an entire like landscape, because you see the woman, they were playing her clip, and as it was panning over to more of the painting, it was all these like you saw like Bigfoot and like you know things like
That's good.
All
That's
the
what you
myths
should have
and
led with.
legends.
Not they just did a painting of the woman.
No, because you needed to know the setup because it was really funny. I'm like, oh, why would they paint this? And then once you go over, you see all these
The Loch Ness monster and everything.
yes. And I was like, okay, that's pretty. I was like, that's
great.
good. That's
Anyway,
good.
sorry, back to the plane. The
Yes.
plane.
It blew up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people died.
Would you
I
have been one of the people
remember-
to get off the plane? If you were on a plane and somebody acted like that, what would you do?
I honestly don't know. I actually don't know. I think it would depend on like my state of mind. If I was depressed, I'd be like, all right, cool. I can't wait for this plane to blow up. Actually, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Easy. If I was like in a positive mindset, that's when I'd be like,
That motherfucker back there is not real.
Yeah.
I
To be honest, I would have
Honestly, I would be asleep.
survived.
I would be asleep before the plane, before that door even closes. I fall asleep, so I wouldn't
George
know.
and I have God complex mode where we would just jump out and land in
And
the water, and
in
the
the
water
water.
wouldn't hurt us. Yeah,
I would
like pin
just
drop.
I would just fly and keep flying until I eventually got lower to the ground.
This is what happens when you go to Disneyland once.
Yeah, like Peter Pan. I'd be like Peter Pan. I'd be grabbing onto everyone, going,
Yeah,
"Come
yeah.
on, everyone, here we go!" Like, jump out the side of the.
You're not Mary fucking Poppins. That's not how that works.
Yeah, but he likes to think he is, and that's okay.
Just.
I mean, he is a Mary, but he's not Mary Poppins.
Oh,
Yeah, I think realistically, I would have a stupid God complex mode where I'd be like, yeah, I'll survive this, no worries. Like I can just jump in the water. It's like when someone says a tsunami's coming, and you're like, yeah, I'll just swim over the top of the tsunami. It's like
Those people are. Oh my goodness.
or when there's an earthquake, just jump up and you'll dodge it.
Yeah.
just jump up.
Yeah, just jump up.
I would say if I were on a plane, I saw that. I think I would if I were awake. I would feel uncomfortable. It depends on where I was sitting, like how much did I pay for the ticket? Because we might as well blow up at that point because if you're sitting in a good seat, because you're not getting refunded if you get off the plane. I don't think.
Okay, but you're not going to get off the plane. It blows up.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
So
still,
you're not going to get a refund anyway.
could you imagine that? Well, that's true. All right. Well, if I were flying first class to Paris, I'm just saying, let me go.
Also, they had no TVs in the back of the seats. Like, what
Well, this was 96.
was it?
It was
No?
No,
I thought it was
It's
2000.
Yeah.
Was it 2000? Oh, so sorry.
96 was Scream. God.
I pulled a George. I apologize.
Well,
I remember
don't
they
say Apollo George. I knew
there
when
was
it
a
was.
meme going around that they'll show like some planes were showing Final Destination 1 as their movie, like their in-flight movie. That's just fucking chaotic.
I would watch it.
I know, but it's insane.
Yeah. But
That
It's like
is
showing
wild.
like a 9/11 documentary on a plane. It's just
True.
something you do not do, you know?
would not do. No.
yeah.
That's bizarre. But then again, I remember flying on a plane.
You flew a plane.
I rode a plane.
Okay.
And I look over and this dude is full on watching. What was he watching? On his laptop, of course, because obviously the plane wouldn't. I want to say it was barbed wire. And so it was clearly the Pamela Anderson scene where she's like showing off her titties and bubbles. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm like, on a plane, sir. Meanwhile, I'm watching a horror film and somebody just gets decapitated. But I'm like,
Yeah, they didn't have any horror films when I flew the other day. The other week. I was so annoyed because last time when I was flying back on BA, they had Scream, and I was like, oh, great. But this time, the only horror
What's
film
flying like, actually? As a common person, I don't really do that very much.
Well, I mean, I only fly private, obviously, so I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what it's like.
Yeah,
to
so
have
what's
Parents
that
fly
like?
private. You don't fly private.
How many
It's just-
celebrities do you know?
I don't really count anyone as a celebrity because to me they're just friends. So anyway, the Final Destination series.
Let's get back. Yes, Final Destination 1. Tell me some of your favorite things, Alex, about the first film.
Well, I watched them all on my channel relatively recently. I think Final Destination 1 was like a year ago. But if we're talking Final Destination 1, I just think about it sometimes, honestly. That shower scene where he like trips
yeah.
and then like
Oh,
coils
that was
around
a
his neck is
difficult
pretty
death to watch.
terrible.
Mm.
I think it's the one part in that first movie that I just find hilarious is when I think it's Alex is in the car and it's about to get like electrocuted or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it like blows up and he somehow is he's somehow alive. All this shit's happening. It's something like that. Or it's like, I think it's Claire who runs up. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because Claire's
Something
in the
like that,
car
stupid.
and he's trying to protect her, so he's trying to do all
yeah,
this.
it's the other way
and
around.
then,
Yes.
and like, yeah, no. Okay, I do like that part. I mean, I do like.
I don't even remember how that one ends. How's that one end?
When they're in Paris and he's like,
I
so
didn't
who's
like
next?
That ending. Yeah. Although I would have liked to see that
yes.
asshole get it.
But I also think it's ridiculous. I mean, it'll go into two that
Well,
what?
can I mention my favorite scene from one?
Yeah, no, I've got one as well,
Oh,
but I was
oh,
going to
okay,
say,
good.
I was just
Go.
while we were talking about one, I think it's ridiculous that Alex gets killed by a brick. That's very.
I think
Oh,
that was.
dude, in my
I think
video
that
that
was
pissed
money
me off
problems
so
right there.
much.
Yeah, I was like,
Gets killed off screen by a fucking
your
brick.
main character in the first film gets.
What was he doing?
Yeah.
Robbing Kevin McAllister? Just cop a brick to the head.
Not Home Alone.
Jesus.
A joke. But one of my favorite scene that I always remember that sticks with me just because it's so great and like it mixes an essence of camp with just like death, and it's if you want to keep fighting with Alex every time you see him, then you can just drop fucking dead. Just such a great scene.
Oh my god. I remember once the movie came out and like word had gotten out that scene was just unintentionally hilarious. Like that was in the ad campaign after that, which is smart. To be fair.
Oh, that was
is-
improv. She actually got hit by a bus.
Mm.
Well, I mean her career did, but yeah.
So what was your favorite thing from the
It
first
was in a
film,
few bad
Yutaka?
sitcoms. Oh,
yeah.
I mean that's a great scene. Like
Mhm.
every time I laugh. Mine's when the teacher gets like all the things happening to
Yeah,
the
that is a
teacher
good scene.
are hilarious to me. First off, if you were going to take a mug anyways, back in the day when we had those box-like computers and set it on top, you get what you got coming.
Mhm.
All
Yes.
right. That was just like, no.
I think the mug was like cracked as well, and she's
Yeah.
walking around with it just dripping on the floor. It's like, okay, you
You
rot,
wouldn't
no
know that.
worries.
Like let me put it this way: when like if you have a cracked mug, one, you see it. I would think, but two, the drips come out quite a bit. It's not like it's just like no, but either way. So I love that entire scene because like first it blows up, hits her in the neck, she falls down, and I think like the best part to me is when she's reaching up for the towel, and it pulls down the knife block, and her face is like,
yeah.
I laugh every time.
It's a great scene. I just would never trust. I mean, I wouldn't like to be friends with anybody that drinks a cold drink out of a mug. I think that's vile.
What?
I
Oh, is
think
that
it's
a UK thing?
Yeah, if somebody offered me a cold drink out of a hot drink mug, I would be like, again, it comes back to like, it just
A
reminds me of
mug's a mug, whether it be a cold drink or a hot drink.
If a glass is for a cold drink, if somebody gave me a juice in this, I would leave.
What if we got in there today, actually, George?
Got in this mug?
Yeah.
Together.
Oh.
What?
Why would we be getting inside a mug?
No,
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up.
I'm not one of my subscribers going into your DMs, okay?
No. What were you trying to say, Alex? I didn't
What
understand.
do you have inside your mug today? What are you drinking?
Yorkshire tea. I only ever have drink tea.
Yorkshire tea.
It's the best tea.
Okay.
But again, yeah, just to reiterate, I'm glad she died because no person in the right mind should be drinking a cold drink out of a mug. It's common. It's common. So,
well, I guess I'm common.
Yeah. Well, you're American. That's the same thing.
Well, I'm not on an allowance, sir. So pipe down.
And the Rockets red glass.
I wish I got an allowance.
Right? Same. No, because typically if you're at home, okay, fine, maybe in America, but typically if you're at home and you're gonna have like a mixed drink or anything, if you don't have a glass, some people like look, she was living on a teacher's salary. She could have fair.
I let her off because she was packing up the house. And maybe that was the broken mug was the only thing that she was going to throw in the bin, and she had it because it was going to go in the bin.
Okay,
it's the only reason I let her.
I like that
some
way of
people
thinking.
do that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a filthy person, I guess, because I will have a cold drink in a mug. Like it could be early in the morning, and I don't want a big glass of apple juice or orange juice.
Do you not have small glasses in your house? Do you not have crockery and glassware for all occasions?
I mean, I do, but I do like to hold a mug because I like to hold a mug, and I don't drink hot drinks. So,
anyways, I would like it confirmed if that woman had a cracked mug because she was moving out. Please, director, email us.
I'm going to call Jeffrey.
If George is the only person that gets it right, I will be very happy.
Did you imagine that's that? And I'm like, oh my god, breaking.
That would be so funny.
Breaking down. They'll just say that because they'll want to appease me. They'll be like, "Sure, George." Sure.
yeah. Good old glory hole George.
Yeah, that's what the creator of Final Destination called me.
George.
Really?
Yeah,
it
we
was
had
a
him on
great
the channel.
interview. It's one of my favorites because we were talking about who we'd want to be in a horror film. We're going to deviate again as usual, but I do have to ask before we say what we wanted to be. Pugga, if you were in a horror film, who would you want to be? Like the character,
what, an existing character, or
no, just like
a type of character.
Yeah, a type of character.
Like it. Okay, so I've already been told many times I would most likely be the first kill. So, because I wouldn't survive very long.
I said the same thing. I was like, make me the first kill. I want to be the marquee name. Like,
I wouldn't even be a marking name. I'd just be that extra that just gets offed on the side.
So you'd be Steve in Scream. Nobody remembers Steve. They only remember Casey.
Yeah, I'd be Steve in Scream. I'd be the dude on the
I want to be Casey
chair.
Becker. I know it would never happen, but I wouldn't be Casey Becker.
Yeah, no, I'd be off straight away. I probably wouldn't even make the cut. I would have been killed before they started rolling. Yeah.
And George, who did you say you wanted to be again? You wanted to be one of the girls in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, in Scream, the one who's like, and she decided that when she's like, Teen Suicide is out this year.
Yeah, that's
that
you.
one would be
That's-
me.
that's
And
you to a
then
T.
Jeffrey was like, "Oh yeah, in the bathroom's glory hole, George." And I was like, "Excuse me? True, but excuse me." So, yeah. So that's my claim to fame. That is going to be on my.
You need to get your glory hole and put it on your mantelpiece.
Yes, that's true. Next to
your
that'd be cute.
parents'
With your name
mantelpiece.
printed on it.
Yeah, just a hole.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Just get a 3D printer, print out your hole, stick
Stick it on the mantelpiece.
it on the mantelpiece.
Maybe after it's healed up, though, George. Maybe after.
Yeah. Gotta keep that thing fresh. Any more Final Destination 1?
It's my
It's one of-
second least favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I would agree.
First one, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's move on to number 2. I mean,
Yeah. You're
because
excited to talk about this one. Go ahead.
my mouth's open, so I'm going to continue speaking just while it's here. And I have to say that Final Destination 2 is great. Love that hashtag great. And my one of my favorite scenes is when they go to visit Clear Rivers in that mental asylum, and I'm like, oh, and like that was the first time for me that I think I'd watched it must have been the first time I'd watched a franchise, because for me the idea that this character from a previous film had come back was like, I remember being like, oh my god, like it was
That's
a lot
a
for me.
lie.
Why? I watched that before I watched Scream.
Oh, okay, never mind that.
I didn't watch Scream until anyway. So I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, she's dyed her hair. Love that for her. And just also she looks so comfortable in that room. Like I would live in that room. And she had the little CCTV, and she was being so petty, and like she was like, look at all I've stuck stuff on my wall. And I was just
I reckon she has the nice, comfy, grippy socks on.
Yeah, and she knows she has like
that's
flight
true.
socks, you know, like for when you go the high end top, like up to the knee socks. And it was just
all hospital socks go up that high.
Okay, and she had like suspenders on underneath or something. I don't know.
She couldn't.
but
She
it
was
was-
in one of those rooms.
It was real cute. And then to follow that, my other favorite scene is when we go to see, because we didn't mention in the first one, but he's so iconic in this one. When we go to see Tony Todd, and like they're talking about everything again, and then he's like, "You got to look for the signs," and she's like, "How did you know my name?" And I'm like, "Oh, like it was." It was
spelt incorrectly. Is the answer.
No, not
Claire is
What-
not spelt Clear.
Her name's not Claire. It's Clear.
Well,
like-
that's dumb.
It's just with
but
an
that's
American
okay,
accent. Clear.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought her name was Claire the entire time until somebody's like, it's clear. Like the water runs clear. I'm like,
Yeah. Clear
Oh.
Rivers.
Clear River.
Yeah, well, the
Mum
one
and
thing
Dad.
that's clear to me is her parents f***ed up, so...
They left you. Their parents abandoned her, didn't they? Because she was in that house in the first one alone.
Yeah, well,
But
they gave
yeah.
up on naming her as well, so
Yeah,
there's
so
that.
maybe she was like part of a cult or something cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really liked the idea of her coming back, and I'm a big Ali Larter fan, so I was thrilled to see her. So that's one of my.
And she just
favourite
blew up?
moments. She did. Like her career didn't, sadly, but she.
I did for a while.
I mean, listen, I loved her. in Resident Evil.
Heroes. She battled
Obsessed.
Beyonce.
We didn't want you to find out this.
Her, George, you would know this because you love her so much. Did her... I'm having like deja vu. Did her torso like fly towards the camera?
Yes, through towards
Yeah,
the
yeah.
camera. A burnt torso hit
Yeah,
the
just
camera lens. It was
That's
like
right.
so. I was like,
I don't
and the-
remember that. I'm gonna have to
The
go
crappy
rewatch
CGI,
that.
like she opened the door and had like the horrible fake flames like hit her face, and then she like flew back.
Oh, but she looked good with the wind. The
That
hair.
leather jacket was stunning, though.
Yeah.
George was like, oh my god, she's so hot right now.
Yeah,
Bro, she just blew up.
She's on fire. This girl. Oh my god, slay!
She's literally slaying.
She's slaying the house down boots. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite moments. Alex, give us some of your favorite moments.
I mean, sorry to take the steam out of Yutaka's answer here, but that opening scene is just so good because you're
Iconic.
introduced to these characters who you think are going to be the ones you follow, and then they're just fucking wiped out by a car
Yeah.
or a truck or whatever it is, and you're like, oh shit, okay, it's actually the people that are behind this car that we're following, which is such an insane take.
Yeah.
But there's that one scene in that opening where that truck just fucking flies through the like flames and just
Oh,
that's terrifying. And then the other scene for me in that movie, there's two. There's the one, is it the dentist?
Yes. Oof.
That's in number 2.
oh, that
Mhm,
kid
yeah.
and his
Yeah,
jokes.
the
though,
kid
that
runs
was
out
pretty
to see the
funny.
With the
pigeons.
puffer fish.
Yes, yeah. He runs out to see the pigeons, which is unironically what I would do if a bird landed in the bath
Yeah,
today.
right?
Yeah.
See your podcast. I need to go and feed a bird. Get crushed in the
Birdies!
meantime. And then the other one is when that like seedy old dude from Everybody Loves Raymond is in the elevator
Mhm.
and he's like all feely to this woman and she just gets fucking decapitated in
That
the
gave me
elevator.
so much. Yeah, I had nightmares
That
after that
death
scene.
scene was gruesome.
I think my worst fear would be being trapped in an elevator like that. Honestly,
With
not with a dude, just by myself. Like,
no, with a I was gonna say with a
Oh my god, I'd
you know,
love that. Could you imagine
decapitated-
a
Yeah,
one
you
woman
would.
show?
I was gonna say, if anyone would love being trapped in an elevator by a dude, look down below. We got George here.
Oh, but I'd honestly prefer my own because all the mirrors, I'd be like 1, 2, 3, and we're gone. And like full show would be like the people
He
in the
really
CCTV would be
it
like,
would be like you're watching a chorus line. You'd be like, one singular
I'd be like, get in
sensation.
sync. 1, 2,
Yep, he really would be. There's so many. I love part 2 so much.
Mhm.
One, obviously, the log truck is one of the most insane sequences. And I just remember like the look when he drops his coffin, he looks up and he's like, oh, and push.
Yeah.
And I love the bitchy, like, is she a reporter? I can't remember, when she's driving and she's like pen and she's like, could you be a little quieter?
Oh no,
Yeah.
yes.
I put it on
Yeah.
quiet
Oh,
mode.
sorry, let me just switch it to quiet mode.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so good.
She was actually in Once Upon a Time as the Blue Fairy.
She was, and she was in Bates Motel for a couple seasons.
Yeah, but Once Upon a Time was better.
Okay. Work.
On you.
I
Well,
haven't
you know.
seen Bates Motel.
Oh, I was
going
gonna
off what I've
say.
seen.
But yeah, no, I thought that was a really like I think 2 was such a good sequel because it amped up all the kills, because even aside from, you know, the opening sequence, that first dude who was a douche, like that dude, like, oh my god. The lottery winner, like
Oh,
so
yes.
many different things.
He's cooking
Oof.
nuggets and stuff on the fry pan. It's like, what are you doing?
God.
Gross spaghetti all over the floor.
He wasn't drinking out of a mug, was he? Let's.
But I love that part when you think I mean, we knew he wasn't safe, but he's like, oh, douche. I was like, oh,
He had so much time to roll out the way.
he did. He really did.
He deserved that though. I also like just the druggy guy who's like taking the pills or sniffing the coke while he's driving, and he's like with
Who shouldn't
I
have
like
been driving.
yeah.
That guy when he's like, please don't tell my mum about like my stash.
Oh yeah.
Please hide it so my mum doesn't find out. I like, it's like, okay, no worries.
And I
love
also
that.
liked in that film that it was kind of showing that everyone else can sort of look for the signs. Like it's not just her. Like she might have had that vision, but you know, like Clear started looking for the signs, and then the other guy, and a couple of them saw like,
calling her Claire.
well, just Claire's easy,
Yeah.
but Clear's, you know. And also the final, just the end scene where they're like, "Oh yeah, if it wasn't for your
Oh,
friend, Tommy
yes.
would have been hit by that truck," and then just the barbecue just exploded and his hand landed
See,
on the
that's the one
plate.
thing I'm forgetting every time is how it ends. I'm
Yeah.
always remembering how it starts. I can't remember how it ends.
It's so
No, I
campy how it
remember.
ends. I love
George
that.
is right. A little kid gets blown up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the mum's just like screaming while her son's arms on the plate.
What a
But I
terrible
love the
place
look on
for
their
like
faces too. They're like
that body part to land on their plate.
know.
It's like, you got some salad with that, guys? What are we offering? Stop.
It's I do think it's like, I would agree. I think it's better than the first. that
Oh,
film.
100%.
Yeah.
Easily.
And like, I know we talk a lot about like, you know, sequels that like really good sequels, but I feel like like Final Destination, I always feel like maybe just doesn't actually get the The second one anyway doesn't get the prop. Everyone talks about the opening. There's like the opening's like the thing, but the film itself has got so many great parts that
it's also
expand.
just constantly anxiety driving. Like it doesn't slow down at all. It's just constant happening.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it works so well, because the first one kind of a little bit slow after things happen, and then the second one's just like, yeah, you know the premise, you know what we're doing, and then it just does it for an hour and a half.
Yeah, like crazy. And I mean, the third one's like a roller coaster of a movie.
Embarrassing.
It's the Prisoner of Azkaban of the movies. Like everyone loves it.
I mean, that's not my favorite of that series, but okay.
No, I agree with George. I like that.
But I feel like everyone I know says that Prisoner of, everyone's like, what's your favorite Harry Potter film? Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm like, all right.
Goblet of Fire.
A Goblet of Fire is my favorite one, but a lot of people I know and a lot of people I know when you talk about Final Destination say the third one is like.
Oh, but fair. I get the reference.
So Yutaka, tell me what's some of your favorite things from Final Destination.
The entire fucking movie is a gag.
That's not a moan.
I do mean like the intro was so good, and obviously Mary Elizabeth Winstead was such a good like final girl actress in this, and it had these iconic kills. But then I really need to bring it back to that ending though, which I thought was they still have yet to really effectively replicate it, in my opinion. But that ending was so much fun. Like you just went through this entire thing thinking, oh, they saved. Oh, did a bird land?
No, I'm trying to remember the ending for the third one too.
Subway scene.
Subway scene. Right. Yeah, they go to meet Jared from Subway.
Well, hopefully not. But
because I was hoping it was going to be it was going to link like Scream 6 was going to end and they got on the same subway as the guys from Final Destination 3. The crossover of the century.
But I love that. So then you get this whole other mass like destruction sequence, and it just ends on her like looking up, and that was a great shot too.
Yeah.
And I loved that. So I mean, I love everything about
that's not the last
one.
shot. The last shot, she goes, that's the dream, and then she looks, then she goes, what's wrong? And she goes,
oh
God.
Sorry,
and then they ring the bell, and then which is a really cool, because then you see her face and then you hear all the thing again.
But I think she was just such a charismatic lead as well. And I really enjoyed the cast. And I mean, the tanning bed death, that's camp.
Yeah. True.
Two bimbos getting fried in a salon. Sounds about right.
Yep.
It is so good.
George,
Alex,
would that be your death?
Would be my death, probably. No, that would be
Liam's,
because he had to use the sunbeds, and he said it was terrifying because he had to use them after. Yeah, it wouldn't be mine. Alex, what are some of your faves from number 3?
I think the scene where the nail gun scene is pretty intense.
Yeah.
That one's pretty, because you think it's going to be the emo dude, but it's not. It's just it's
and we
someone
wanted
else
it to
entirely.
Be, he was such a dick.
Yeah, I know, right? I know his name. It's Ian.
Ian McKinley.
That's how much I hated that character. He sucked. And then what's another one? I mean, the tanning bed one is pretty good. So yeah, I get them mixed up. Some of the ones I'm thinking of,
like in timeline
like
succession,
the 4th one
or
in general,
okay.
the kills just kind of blend together a little bit from the movies. But the nail gun one, absolutely. And then the one part in that movie that made me laugh a ton was when that horse like kicks off, and then that dude's just getting dragged around the festival.
Oh my God, that scene. Who else was on you, or who else was with you on the roller coaster? Who else? And that Asian girl's like,
oh
yeah,
and where that dude's ordering the burger, or he's at the drive-through, and the boat just
goes straight through.
He
comes out of nowhere.
He deserved it. That
he instigated the whole. Which to me, I don't know how.
Looked like the lead singer of the New Radicals.
I don't know how it happened, the opening, because it was his camera that.
Yeah, he was a little perv, wasn't he?
Yeah,
taking pictures of like women's panties.
They were like,
stuff.
"Show us your boobies," and she's like, "Stop!"
Stop being so silly.
Stop being, oh my god. I really love the song that they had. Something that I thought was really good throughout it is the there is someone walking behind you. I thought that was really great. I'd like to have something that kind of was a different, because normally like it was wind that was like, oh, something's coming, that's it, and it's wind. Whereas this time, like, it's a little more musical. You know, there was a song, and then we knew something bad was going to happen.
Wasn't it liquid? Because I call it the magic cum.
What do you call what the magic cum?
You know how like in the Final Destination movie, there's like the liquid. It like follows them. It's like sentient liquid.
No.
Not all the time,
Yes.
but I get what you mean. No, in some films there is.
There's
Because we'll
water.
get to the theater one. Because
Yeah, but it looks like cum. So
I mean,
and it
I don't know
follows
what kind of
I've
movie
never
is that,
seen
'cause
that in the
is-
film. I'll have to rewatch them. Jesus, I don't remember any. Stuff
maybe I've
follow-
watched the wrong Final
I think
Destination.
you watched Final Destination. Or something. I don't know what you watched.
Well,
but
the
whatever it
ones
was.
I watched, the Final Destination movies, they're only about 30 seconds long, so it might have been the wrong one.
Hope has only got the What was, I was going to say something. Oh, well, I fancied Ian when I first watched it. I was like, oh my god, 'cause, like, I was a me. I was
Why?
like, because Bring Me to Life was like, I was like in that era.
Okay, you were an Evanescence
I was
boy.
like, yeah.
I
you
loved
sing both parts?
Evanescence or
Oh my
Evanescence,
God, yeah.
but I looked at that and I thought that boy needed some like let's.
That's what I want to say. It wasn't my favorite part, but it was just made me. It was just so stupid and ridiculous, but it made me laugh. Is when he comes up to the graveyard and he's like, because obviously in this one it's all about the photos, and he's like, look at these photos, and he shows like 9/11 with the plane, and then he shows like what's the name, whatever his name is, who got shot in the head, your president.
JFK.
No, it wasn't JFK. It was the original one, Lincoln.
The original
it-
JFK?
Yeah.
Queen, you're slaying too loud.
Marilyn Monroe didn't kill herself, and there's like a line, and they start showing all these random like things about like just before disasters, and you're like, this is a little too on the nose.
I lost it when they showed 9/11 for Final
I was
Destination
like
3 and implied that it was like caused by that. I was like,
I know. I
what
was like, this.
What were you smoking?
Yeah, that was the. But I was like, this is a little bit far fetched on the nose for me, this section. But it just made me laugh that he's like at this grave and he's like, look at these photos, and you're like, what are you like? This is not time or place, babe. But I did like the photo aspect of this film, like them kind of like it added another layer to, because obviously you know what the story is going to be each time.
Sure.
So I think it was good that they added that thing of, oh, this time we can see via the photos.
But they also added, dude gets annoyed and wants to kill the people himself as well. Ian, he was like, got angry. He's like, I'm gonna murder you instead.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
was the
okay,
dumbest. Well,
we have
actually,
enough
no,
things
'cause
trying to kill us,
he-
bro. Relax. Go to therapy.
Yeah.
He was trying to technically he was onto something. He was like, it'll break the cycle. I mean,
You, Wendy, you're next.
Okay, I did laugh pretty hard.
Oh,
But
also,
I mean, he wasn't wrong. That would have broke the cycle. He just
didn't go about it the right way, and that's that's what it.
well.
But also,
is
I did
there a
really
right way for that though? Where you're like, hey, I know we're all dying, but could you please go ahead and die first? So
George, lean closer to the microphone next time.
Why can you not hear me?
No. You keep trying to say something.
Oh yeah, it's all right. I'm used to getting cut off. Like honestly, babe, I'm
Ouch.
used to it. But I appreciate you standing up for me, ally. And I liked in the DVD version where you could like choose their fate. You probably didn't do that.
What?
Yeah,
yes,
so
that was so cool. I do
you can
remember
play-
That's sick.
you should just get the DVD just for that. That's why we need $2. But you can do like the choose your fate, and then so those scenes it would come up and say like do this or do that, and you press it and it would do a different thing.
Did each person have like an alternate death, or was it?
almost? Almost.
Oh
They
my
would-
God,
they would
that's-
always end up dying, but they would
But
be like
no,
a
they were.
different-
It was shot differently. Like it was
Yeah.
a different way to die. Yeah,
You'll be
it
able
was,
to probably
Holy
find all of them
shit,
on
that's
YouTube.
so good. That
It
reminds me of
it was cool.
Black Mirror, Bandersnatch,
Yeah.
yeah.
The dude's like, I'm gonna jump off the building. It's like,
It's like
you either
do
go,
you?
yeah, do it, man, or no.
No,
I think
yeah.
everyone went, yeah, man, just jump off.
Yeah,
I've never seen that episode.
it's good. But yeah, so that's another thing. So you should check that out if you can.
I'm literally
Alex.
looking it up now.
Are
Yeah.
you?
It was great.
I thought that
I
was.
didn't know. I
yeah,
watched
that
these
was incredibly
streaming and stuff. I
clever.
did not know.
Yeah, it's just That was a good. That's why physical media is the best, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
That's when like you need you need physical media for stuff like that. That's so cool.
And also these days they're taking so many films and stuff off. Like I'm struggling to find a lot of stuff these days on any streaming thing, and I'm like, well, I'd rather just pay for it and have it here than digitally. So
I have so much physical media as I look over. I need to get a shelves for that.
You definitely do.
Well,
let's move on to.
Oh, we don't need to talk about the next one. Let's go to the fifth one.
Okay.
Wait, no. We got to in the fourth one where the dude gets sucked out.
Yeah. It's a movie.
Well, yeah, but that
the
was
Final
the funny
Destination.
Part.
It was. Yeah.
I mean, and that dude deserved it. Hot dude, though.
And also
Nick Zano. Yeah.
I prefer the guy who played
Amanda Bynes show. Like, what I like
Amanda,
about you.
please.
Not that show, but she had.
And how's Amanda Bynes doing today?
Not good. Anyways, but no, I liked 4.
Stop there.
Yeah.
Stop.
I didn't like it. It was terrible, and the 3D was awful.
The 3D was. I did like the car wash scene. Come on, that did give me anxiety.
I feel like that's the weakest one. Where she's gets her head out the sunroof and she's like drowning.
No, it's the idea of like being in a car wash. You're trapped in your car. It was more of the setup. Like, could you imagine though? Like, you couldn't get out of your car. You're in a car wash.
Do you know what would be scarier if you're in a car wash and then I turned up in hot pants going at the car wash? Oh, that would be terrible.
That would be my nightmare.
You would want to drown yourself then.
That is my worst nightmare, George. The idea of you in hot pants showing up and I can't move. I can't leave.
You're stuck. Yeah, exactly. Alex, can you remember how this film ended?
I feel like this is a trend.
Mortal Kombat fatality, X-ray mode.
Yes, well done.
Yeah,
I hated that.
Horrible.
Honestly, that ending was dumb. Not for me.
Maybe.
Yeah, that pool scene as well is so stupid because they literally cut to a wide shot where you can see the dude at the bottom of the pool, and then everyone's just swimming around.
It does not make sense. You would see
there's literally one shot where it's like a close up of him like getting sucked off by the pool, and then it literally cuts to this wide shot on like the angle, like the side of the pool, and you can see these people lounging around the side. There's this dude swimming right near where he is, and it's like, what the is this? Like, why would you cut to a shot like that when it just exposes all these plot holes of why is no one seeing this happen?
Because
I'm pretty sure the lifeguard's sitting there too.
Yeah.
Insane.
The woman who got her eye took out by the stone as well.
After a haircut.
The hairspray and the way that the little thing moves, like, and then it gets on the straighteners, and you're like,
I still like that.
Yeah.
She's actually apparently she's like a horror actress, like an icon. And I need to look who that is again.
What was the thing she said? Something about the boys, like don't play around or something, and then
she's like, I got my eye on you.
Like, get in the car now. Yeah.
Stupid one-liner.
So, which I'm shocked. So, you know who the lead character's from, though, George, right?
What he's from? He's from My Wet Dreams. Nick.
Oh! He was the hot teacher in the Scream series.
He was the hot teacher in the Scream series. Yes, he was.
Look at the cast.
He was very good looking. And then his love interest, or the female lead, she went in to play the TNT version of Dallas, which I really love. That got canceled before it should have. Right as they were introducing Jesse Metcalf. That dude can't catch a break, but partially due to acting, maybe.
See, the thing that blows my mind about this movie is that if you take into consideration what happens in the fifth one, this is deemed literally the final one.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because it sucks.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for the sixth one.
All right, well, let's talk about the fifth one, because we clearly we're somewhat on the same page. I still enjoyed the fourth one, but it's not my favorite. So fair. 3 is still my all-time favorite. But yeah, let's talk about the fifth one.
Love it.
With Emmy winner Courtney B. Vance.
Don't know who that is,
Angela
sure.
Bassett.
And the working man's Dave Franco as well. He was in that.
That's pretty
I-
good.
That's a name I haven't heard in years, Dave Franco. My God.
Not
What's his brother James up to?
Well, I thought the opening was really. I loved the bridge. It reminded me of
Oh, yes.
the
yes,
Mothman
yes.
prophecies. I was living my best life.
The what prophecies?
The Mothman prophecies.
Sorry, I thought you said Muff Man.
The Muffin Man.
Sorry.
So yeah, I really loved that opening. I thought it was really cool and just a different way to. I don't know. It just felt a bit bigger in scale. Like,
I
and
was gonna say you were about to say it's a different way to open the movie. I'm like, it's
yeah,
the
it's
exact
really
same
different.
way.
I loved how they opened the movie like with this new idea of like, someone having a vision. I thought it was quite new and exciting. But no, I mean, like, it just, I don't know, it felt like a bit bigger on the sense that there's just a lot going. Like, it's just a bridge.
I
don't
think
know
the
what I'm
bridge is
saying.
probably the next standout, other than like the road in the second one. I think because a bridge is something people go across quite often. I assume.
I'm trying
Well,
to
we'll
think of
cross
when
that bridge
came
when we
out,
come to it.
Yeah.
But I would have to look it up because I remember. I don't know. Obviously, it was either before or after. I don't just felt like it was still close towards it. But there was like a huge bridge.
Usual
Collapsing in. I want to say it was in Minnesota or Wisconsin. It was literally like this massive bridge that probably should have had repairs. Had a ton of people on it. Thank God, very few fatalities. But it was still like one of those scenarios. Like, what do you do when you're on this? I want to say like 6-lane bridge, and it's collapsing.
That one guy that listens to the podcast that has like a bridge fetish right now is getting hard as.
He is. But I do remember that it was a freaky thing because my first thought was, what the hell would I do? I'm like, well, I would pray to Jesus. That's me. Not saying you will have to.
I'll just dive off into the water.
Yeah, because she survived.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
that woman
that
survived.
Was unbelievable, and I'll tell you why. From that height, I'm just gonna be honest, guys. From that height to that water, no.
Have you jumped off a bridge before?
God, no, because you're from that like speed you're getting, velocity, all that. No, you're either gonna break your legs or
Imagine
if
the
you're
cannonball you could get going. Like, it'd be
you
crazy.
would break your spine at that point.
Not if you landed correctly.
No, that's
You do the pencil dive in.
Yeah.
I think it would have been good
the
if
softest part of the water.
Yeah, if somebody had like dived in, like, I'm going to save myself, and then there was like just a shark at the bottom with its mouth open, it just went straight into the mouth.
The Meg 2 coming. No,
Yeah.
The Meg 2 coming. I don't really feel that girl would have survived.
Well, she did.
Well,
she did.
she didn't. She got
yes.
Yeah. The car came off the side. And
I don't
crushed
think
her.
she would have been able to come up. Is what I'm saying.
See, I like the one where she falls off the bridge and she somehow lands directly where the boat is.
I did
straight
like
on
that.
like
Straight on
the
the
And
side.
she
the
like
mast.
spins.
Yeah, it's like, damn, there was like 1% chance of you landing on that, and you landed on it.
Landed on it. Bad luck for her.
Hmm.
Anything else? Who was this? Who was talking? Which one of us was talking?
I think all of us were.
I
weren't
think maybe I
We were
don't know.
really excited about this one.
Yeah,
so
we
that's why I
were.
feel like all of us like, yeah.
The tar kill is pretty intense in the
Oof.
first vision. Like,
Yeah.
he just like melts onto the side of the bridge. Blah.
Yeah.
That
Disgusting.
actor's really funny too. Who is it? David Kochner?
Todd Packer from The Office. That's his character name.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's not his name. No,
That's
yeah.
That's not his actual name. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I think it's David Kochner, but yeah, no, that death is. Oh,
Mm.
I think we all know what the best death is.
oh, go on. The Buddha death?
The gymnast.
Yes, Georgie's got it.
Oh, that death
Ugh.
is disgusting. The lead up to it is also
The
like
pin is one of the worst moments of it. Like, the nail is like one of the worst moments I've ever sat through in a cinema. I was like, oh my god, when that nail, and that girl's just going.
Do I have some news for you, George? In the new
tell
one,
me.
apparently there's a kill taking place in a tattoo parlor. So
Oh my god, love
if
that.
you don't like Prins and Pricks. That one's going to be
Oh,
right
I
up
love
I
here.
don't think it was
Pricks.
that. Well, you do.
But I
think
mean, like, it was just the idea of you constantly seeing, like,
The
she was certain, you just
tension
like,
that scene had
Yeah.
tension. The whole like jumping up,
which
and then
none of
it's
the
just like-
deaths in 4 did. That was like there was no
yeah,
tension.
no,
Whereas
the
this one
tension
brought
level
back.
in this one was oof. But I mean, if anything, David's gonna hate it because he's in his tattoo era right now.
Yeah, he's getting all the
That is
tattoos.
true.
But yeah, that death was one of the best, I think, in the franchise. Like, it's just that was great.
It
I
looked
liked
so gnarly too at the end.
Yeah.
with the bones and the way the neck.
Ugh.
and-
She didn't do her stretching properly beforehand, I don't think.
You
'Cause
can
I would've
stretch all
landed
you
that,
want,
actually.
but
I would have landed it.
I would have gone
Oh.
into a roll and then stood up and gone. And everyone would have clapped. Just saying.
well, I mean, first off, my fat ass wouldn't even be up there, so
Yeah, you would have broke the pole.
I would have.
Maybe
like-
that's why it wasn't working. Maybe Yutaka had been on it
Right.
before.
Yeah, no, I was like, can I
That's
get
why
a
it was
lift? A lift assist?
Yutaka just
please?
needs to stay in the foam pit section.
Yeah, no. I couldn't. I
We're
mean,
all inclusive here, guys.
That. Oh, of course, the laser eye surgery as well. That was
I loved that scene so much. That was a sexy scene, by the way.
sexy.
Okay, maybe it's just me, but that was total like modern aesthetic. It's a clean setting, looked so gorgeous. She looked hot, and I'm like, work. I loved all of that.
What? She was just getting a laser eye appointment, bro.
Yeah, but it was a cute office.
Oh,
Okay.
have you got chubby about the office design or the woman?
Yeah, I said modern aesthetics. It was there's just something about like modern. I don't know. It was the architecture. I really like one.
Well-
Also, she is a very hot actress. Like she knew what she was doing.
I don't know if he's talking about the office still or like the woman.
Both. All right. In the room, she's just sitting there. Her hair, makeup, all this. Oh, just loved it. And I loved it.
See, the
like,
part
oh
about
my
that scene I
gosh,
liked
and
is,
she like falls out the window, and it looks so. I can't reference what it makes me think of because Pugga hasn't watched it yet.
Here.
All I can say.
You got to edit it though.
No. Oh yeah, no. You do
You have to edit
it, so
the
I can't say
episodes.
this. So I can't say it. I can't say it, but
I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god.
if you know, you know.
Anyways,
let's put it that way.
one part I like about that laser eye surgery scene is like
Mhm.
right before they go into the office, it's like they had this bin where you put your glasses in.
Mhm.
And I like to think that if I take my glasses off and I put them in that bin, I'm not even going to know how to walk into the room. Like, how
That's
am I going to
true.
get to the appointment? I can't
Should have been
see.
after.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I wanted her to live, by the way. She was
Well,
hot.
She didn't.
I
She
know.
didn't.
And
I'd
then her
like to
eye got
know-
ran over by a car.
Yeah. Also, you talking about the architecture, but that glass was very thin. Because I've
True.
I've
You
ran
shouldn't
into
fall
a
out
glass.
like that. Yeah.
Like, she didn't trip backwards. And she's not even run into it. Like I've seen videos of dogs running
you
into
could-
doors and stuff.
I mean, the thickness of that glass, you should not have fallen out, but that,
It was
is
about
what
the
it is.
same thickness of the glass
Was-
they used in the dentist office where the bird flew into the window and like cracked it. It's like, damn.
Yeah. I was
What did
like,
that bird
"Jesus."
eat for
And
lunch?
then-
Holy
Right. Because
Normally it's just
normally,
like a
when that
mark.
does happen, if you work in an office building, bird will hit it. You'll hear a loud thud. The bird's dead, and you're like, okay, get back to our work.
You just see the
Mm.
imprint of the bird.
You don't even actually even see that. You just
Yeah.
hear a loud
Just
thud,
something that
and you hear somebody scream because it probably scared somebody. If you've ever worked in an office environment when a
how
bird
do you think
hits,
yeah, that's what's going to
window.
happen to your window. There's going to be a bird imprint one day because they're going to
There's
get
literally
confused.
a bird there right now, which is kind of crazy. The bird in the little tree there. That is
Aw.
perfect timing.
Oh my god! I know. Look at Milo. I didn't even.
Yeah, I was
realize
gonna say,
Milo
you-
was just like
Oh my
You
god,
can
yeah.
tell I'm not lying because look at the cat.
it's like his eyes are set to laser beam, set to kill. Oh, Milo.
We don't around here, do we?
He's like,
He
"Ew,
goes
I'm
straight
gonna-"
back to the window.
Back to it. But then also, the ending of that movie, the plot twist of that movie.
Yeah, we can't talk about Final Destination 5 without talking about how that movie wraps up, which is insane. They kill a baby and a disabled person at the end. Again, it's crazy.
It's like, it reminded me, what I would say, that ending did remind me a little bit too much of the first film. So I was a little bit taken back there.
You did that so much better than I did.
You're welcome. 3-year acting degree sometimes comes in handy. Very, very rarely. But yeah,
what have you been in? Anything I've seen? Actually, I don't. The way Yutaka responded, I don't think I want to know your film.
Everything that's off Broadway,
I don't know if you've seen. I was in a musical called Mr. G. And it was at Summer Heights High. I don't know if you've heard of
Yes, I know Summer Heights High. It came from our country.
Yeah, I know. That was the joke, you Australian gentleman.
He pulled back very fast then.
He did. He's like, basically, I've not been in anything.
George would play Mr. G's like son, I reckon.
No, I would be Celine. I'd play the dog.
No, I reckon you'd be like the flamboyant son that he doesn't talk to.
It's a nice slow song.
I do love Summer. Oh,
my name is Mr. G. Anyway, the ending of that film was so good. But I remember my friend saying, like, because we watched them together another time that he hadn't seen them, and he's like, is this film set before the others? Because things seem like really old. And I was like, how did you like pick up on that? Because nothing in that film made me think that it was set in the year
they didn't
2000.
give many hints to that. So I like when that happened, even for myself in theaters, I was like,
I picked up on one hint, which kind of gave me like a kind of idea. I noticed it when I was editing as well. Is when they're doing the gymnast competition, the actual date says 1996 or 1999 or something.
Oh, really?
Catch that.
Yeah. It's like a blink and you miss it thing. It's like when she's about to go into the competition, there's like a massive flag that says like 1999 calisthenics or gymnastics thing. And then when I was editing that video, I was like, holy shit, it was right there.
Yeah.
That's I do like that. That's impressive.
And then also pay attention to the phones they're using too.
Yeah, it was the phones. My friend was like, that phone looks really old. And I was like, I didn't even pick up on the phone.
They just can't afford the newest model.
When did it come out? 2009 was 10 or 11?
Wait, let me check.
I mean, the phone wasn't that
2011.
old.
Yeah.
The phone wasn't that old. Like, because again, I don't think at that time everybody was getting
12 years ago.
But nobody was getting like the newest of newest models every year. So to me, I was like, that's believable. I didn't even think about it, to be honest.
No, I didn't. So when that happened, it was like
not like, It Follows with whatever that clamshell was. I forgot that until you pointed that out. And
it pissed me off so much. I really want to know what that was.
What is that? Have you seen? You've seen it?
Yeah, I have seen It Follows.
What is that clamshell thing?
The phone.
That's an actual phone.
That's not a phone.
That can't be.
I don't even think it had buttons. It was just a screen.
No way. That it had to have been a Kindle of some sort. Either way, like if you're reading on that, good on you, but you look stupid. Sorry to the makers of that.
Sorry to this man. And I also like the bit, the very like when because you're like, oh my god, this happened, and it was just so dramatic and iconic. And then it goes like cuts to the bar, and that guy's like, oh yeah, you only had a few months to live. Just like
that got me by surprise so badly as well.
So mean.
Yeah.
But then I don't think in the first one or anything or the later entries they talk about just this pub that just got smashed by an airplane piece.
They don't, because I think that would have made
because in the film it looks like it collapses just over the top of the runway, but then I suppose they weren't thinking that far ahead.
I mean, truth be told, that would be like national headlines. But
but more about the plane itself. Though people would be like, "Oh my god, this plane exploded!"
If it felt like how many people probably died in that bar?
My alcoholic dad. Rest in peace, buddy. Would love to share a drink with you today.
R.I.P. So then I have to ask, we go round. Alex, what are you ranking from? How do you rank these movies?
Oh God, I hate it when people ask me to rank things
I
because
couldn't tell you. I could just tell you my favorite, my least. How about that?
Well, I was asking Alex first, so
Yeah.
I'll ask him,
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
and then we'll come to you.
I think, yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of like, that's why I don't do tier lists or anything because they always change. But I
fair.
think there's parts in each movie that are just so good. Like you could rate opening kills and it would be a different ranking. You could rate characters, it would be a different ranking. You could rate overall films and it would be a different ranking compared to like opening kills, if that makes sense. But I think in terms of like just how much I enjoyed a movie just from start to finish, I think it would probably be the second one, followed by I think it would be an equal tie between the third and the fifth, and then the first one, and then whichever the other one was.
Number 4.
Yeah, that one.
That's my ranking as well, I would think.
But
I
then
think
you can change it
yeah.
to kills, and that changes. Like it could be like, oh, number 5, Candace's kill, top tier kill of the franchise, or the
Probably
bridge
one
kill,
of their
and then it
best, yes.
changes. That's why I don't like ranking things. I just ranked it. So
Yeah, so you obviously don't mind that much.
yeah.
Well,
Oops.
worst and
Oopsies.
favorite kill. How about that? But can I say my ranking since yours matches?
No,
his?
we're moving on.
Oh.
Yeah, say yours. Go on.
Yeah, say
No,
yours.
honestly, all I know is my favorite is the third one, and the worst would probably be the fourth one. That's in between. They all can. It just depends on the day. But the third one is the one that I rewatch the most, and like just brings me to the party every time.
I'm gonna say bring you to tears. I was gonna be like,
no, I'm not you.
Have I cried at a Final Destination movie?
No, but you cried at everything else.
Jason, I love that bit. It's in the third film when the thing explodes. I always thought she said
Edit
Jesus.
George singing "No Tears Left to Cry."
God, please don't.
What would you like to see from in the next installment of the franchise?
Ooh, yeah, I was hoping we'd talk about the next one. So,
Okay.
on every reaction I posted to this series, I chose this topic today so I could just promote my own videos.
We're okay with that because I love your videos, even if people don't. Dukes of Hazzard.
Every time I'll get a comment from a dude named Craig Perry, who is an executive producer of this franchise. What he does is every time I don't know how he does it. He watches every single reaction someone posts of Final Destination, leaves comments about how the film was made and everything, and he does it for every single person that watches this
nice
franchise.
Comments or just like
no, they're
oh,
it's
I
like
love
how
that
the
then.
film,
I was nervous, but that's really awesome.
They're informative how the film was made and everything.
That's actually really
they're really
nice.
good. Like I like reading them from time to time.
Aww.
But I know that the sixth one is based around emergency first responders, which is
could be
such
really
a good idea. I know for me, I wanted one on a boat, but that seems a bit too close to home now. A little bit.
Yeah.
And I also think it would be compared to like Titanic too much a little bit as well. If you're having disasters happen, you know what I mean? Like something like that. I heard that there's a tattoo parlor scene. I think that's going to be pretty good. But I think the idea of like first responders being chased down by this like entity of death, it's like that's a great idea. But I don't know. I think I'd have to think about it. If I could think of like a grocery store.
That's just a place.
It's somewhere people go like every week, every day.
So
like
you need like another like moment that's like the second film where like this could happen.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. I'm trying to think.
A grocery store
then,
is somewhere everyone
think
goes.
about it this way. If it is, just throwing this out there, with first responders, it could somehow tie into a hospital then, because that's where they would go to.
It would. It's obvious.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're thinking about like the mass casualty event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A hospital would probably be the first place they do, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. So fun fact, me and my friends back in probably just after the fourth film came out.
It's not really a fun fact.
We were making our own Final Destination movie. So the original opening was going to be set in a McDonald's where the chip fat fryer went on fire and burnt a hole in the
Didn't
top
you
of the
film
seat.
this?
We filmed parts of it, yeah. We
Mhm.
didn't film
Yeah,
that
his
bit.
friend died in production.
We're still waiting for it. Jeffrey's
mean?
still waiting for it.
For what? That film? I don't know what you're talking about. And so this melted. So then the floor would melt and everyone fell into the kitchen and like everything went crazy. But then we changed it to a train and we used the scene from Wanted where the train came off the tracks and we like edited that into the film. And then my mum's friend slips in the bath and like cracks her head open on the faucet. And then we had a part where she was going to be like dead upside down and she was just going to be pissing like while she was dead in the bath. Then my mum.
Wait, this was a movie. I thought this happened last week.
No, that was another thing I'll
Okay.
tell you about later. And then my mum we had our parents acting in it, and my mum got electrocuted by the TV, and she was like, "Hello there, I need a TV person as soon as possible, please. Thank you, bye." And then she went over to the TV, and then she goes, "Ugh," and then just fell back on the couch. And then what were you gonna say?
I was going to say Hollywood is currently dry at the moment. That sounds like a great idea.
See,
So,
I mean, we
George?
could push it forward, and then the
Yeah, I
ending was
reckon
in a
you could
cemetery.
have a good slot.
Yeah. So, what I was going to say is in the next film, I'd just like to see more Tony Todd, please. I need Tony Todd.
Yes, I agree. A
Yeah.
hotel could also be another one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Hotel.
Ooh. Oh, could you imagine somebody doing a black light on that? Woof.
On a hotel. Or it could be like, what if it was like a Zoom call and then everybody on the call like got something happened in their specific place, like a podcast.
Like host? The only person that would happen to is you, George. And let me preface this by saying you're the only person who would do a seance via Zoom. None of us would say yes to that. You would.
Yeah, well, I do them on my own at home anyway, so like
Yeah,
doing it on a Zoom would be
So-
no
Do you
different.
have a Luigi board?
I have a Ouija board, yeah.
He does.
It cost me
You're a
£250.
psychopath.
It's
yeah,
like it's
can you break it
oak wood.
out? We don't have to go any further. Where is it?
It's at home, my parents' house.
Oh, you don't even have it at your place?
No, I took it back for when did I take it back? Like at Easter, because my friends wanted to use it, so I took it back, but I haven't brought it back yet. I'll go and pick it up. Right, my parents are coming down next weekend actually, so maybe they can bring it.
Oh,
And what
God,
do you want to see
that
from Final
gives me-
Destination 6,
Jesus Christ,
Yutaka?
that gives me heartburn. Like that shit scares me. I don't mess with that. I think for 6, I love the idea of some type of death dealing with needles, because I keep thinking, because we've talked about Saw previously, I think, at a certain point, but I think of the needle trap every time. That is like one of
Ugh.
the most cringe inducing, because it's just like and it's such a good scene to see on the big screen that I would love something to deal with that.
That's what they did in the 5th one, sort of, with the acupuncture.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That was not the same. I mean, acupuncture is a little bit different because it's surface level.
I mean, I wouldn't like to fall onto my body with a load
Well,
of...
he was also a dick. He deserved to die.
That doesn't take away from the fact that it happened.
It wasn't my
It was
favorite death,
real.
though.
I like the woman
You
in
know
that,
what
though.
the ultimate twist would be if they just came out and said, we actually killed these people like this.
Yeah. Like in the
They're
6th one, they
actually
need to
all
up the
dead.
stakes.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's not true because we've seen that several things afterwards with them. Obviously we know they
Yeah,
don't
but
do that.
imagine like in Final Destination 6, they cast like Tom Cruise and a bunch of these big name celebrities, and it comes out they actually died whilst they were filming it, and that's how they
Then
make
who's
these movies.
George
That'd be
gonna get to
insane.
tap 'em?
Next question.
If we're gonna do like first responders, I would love to see, because of what first responders see almost daily, I want to see some gnarly, gruesome injuries. Maybe not death inducing, but these could just be like side characters, like not like true to the plot, but I want to see what these main characters do in their everyday lives, right?
I actually
know.
think I
I would love to see
remember
the
reading
like
somewhere.
the
I thought the first responders was
Practical
something that they were
effects.
originally thinking of, but before it was actually picked up.
I do. Well, there's a bit of both to that. So, but that's what I would like to see. It sounds like there's room for a lot of practical effects that I would love to see because practical effects.
There's a theory that the premonition of the opening one for Final Destination 6 with the first responders is an apartment fire.
Yeah, I had to know an apartment fire.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if it was the
smells worse
apartment
than
from the
burnt
second
flesh.
movie?
I think it would be great if it was your apartment.
Yeah, and I could go, this apartment's on fire, fire, fire.
You're too hot to burn, George.
I'm a Targaryen. Fire cannot kill a dragon.
Yeah, a fire starts in your place. You just chuck the wig on and just walk out like
I'm
this.
just like, oh, like literally on fire. Though, like my skin's burning through, but I'm just so like self-obsessed that I feel like it's not happening.
Yeah, that's true.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I remember seeing once.
You wrong for opening that doorway, Pugga. How
that
dare
would have
you?
been a cool idea. Would have been like
what have I opened?
Him singing more.
Sing it.
Oh.
A good idea I think would have been good. Somebody said once, I remember someone made a trailer and it looked really cool, like to do a Final Destination movie, even though it's a spin-off, like set back in time, like it was one that was on like a pirate ship or something, like the ship like in an armada, or like you do it in like the Victorian time, something like during like the and like because could you imagine like medieval Final Destination where like
a prequel about how Diana died would be crazy.
Oh my God, don't start me on Diana.
Don't start.
Turns out it was just a Final Destination premonition.
It probably was.
No.
They all said it was Philip, but he wasn't even near the place, bless him. So I don't know. Yeah, like imagine they did like a
lead
celebrity
me to this
version.
question. How would you
goddamn.
like to be killed?
Me.
Yeah. And just let me get my notepad out.
I'm just trying to think of what would pull the most focus. So
yeah, yours has to be attention grabbing. So
not what would pull. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I think for me,
I was asking George first.
You said pull focused. So me, I'm just kidding. I don't want to die.
If you want to pull focus, don't lean so close to the camera. It exposes your hairline.
Thank you. Someone else but me. I would probably want to be killed.
So bad. Oh God.
Like
yeah, you leaned straight in before, and I was like, dude, back a little bit.
Probably like something on a live while someone was like a live TV.
I hate it.
Something that was happening on the TV live, and so
kind of like a Misfits, like get a gun, shoot yourself in the head sort of situation.
So like probably like something like JFK.
Have you not seen that?
No,
Misfits.
No,
the British series.
Yutaka was like,
yeah, it was more of the like.
Yeah, so like something like JFK or something like a moment like that would be great. Like just like I'm like a sporting event or something, and then just like something happens, and then I'm like, and it ends like with like the camera falls down, and then it's just my face there, and they have to cut, and it's like, who is that person? Then we have the book series that comes out and the deal and all that, so it would be great.
Okay, so yours would be what exactly?
I don't know, just something dramatic and televised.
Okay. Oh God. George, yours would need to really be
Well, my dream death is that I could take a load of pills and drink whiskey and fall off a balcony into a pool backwards while playing oh no, You're Gonna Miss Me.
Who's that lady?
You're gonna miss me. And I fall into the pool, and then a camera like falls in, and it's live streamed.
That really
So,
kind of lady.
Alex, how would you like to be killed? By a bird bath.
A self-induced anxiety attack, most likely.
Oh God, this
took a turn for the worst.
I actually don't know. I think I know I did like I spiced my videos on it up a little bit. I did like a quiz on like how, like a Final Destination, how would you die kind of quiz. And I always got I would die involved in like a sex accident, which is kind of crazy.
That's
it was
more
like,
George.
yeah, no, I know, but I mean, go out while you're on a high, really. So I would say probably a sex accident.
See, I could see your baby like sleeping with you and then just sitting on your face and you suffocating underneath.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
baby's
there's
body.
that
Bring
as
his
well.
kid into this.
No, the kid survives. It's great.
Yeah, the
and
kid
like,
survives. I
like
don't,
that's a vibe.
which is best case scenario.
And then you
honestly.
didn't have to pay child allowance, so like it's even better.
I don't have child allowance like you, sir.
Right?
I think it was, I did that quiz. It was like sex accident in like 2069 or something. Something stupid. But what a time to go out. I would be 70 years old. So I'd get one pump in, have a heart attack, fall off the bed. I'm out.
Howard?
Yeah, he'd be like the guy from
X.
Howard. And Yutaka.
Me?
Finally, yeah. I mean, you've had a long time to think about it. Come on.
I have. So, because I feel like a lot of, some of the deaths play into their fears, but also play into things they enjoy. So, and I know, but well, no, think about it. The girl who's like sitting in the theater, we don't talk about it, but it's a great scene. And she's like, I'm going to stay. And she like puts on the 3D glasses.
Oh, we literally skipped over that whole mall sequence with the elevator and everything.
There are certain things. Yeah. So I feel my ass would probably go to like some animal shelter and then get ripped apart by all the dogs.
Ooh.
Well, you get to Taco Bell and shit yourself to death.
Because I love puppy dogs, or like not so much
giving
cats,
George ideas. His next
but
film's gonna open with an orphanage.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
but I could see that happening. Like I go to like adopt a new puppy, and I go, back to meet all the puppies, and they're like
Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, and the staff is like away, and I just get torn to shreds. Yeah. Hey, at least the dogs got to eat.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, you asked.
But no, I didn't think about like an animal shelter. Wow.
Yep, I went there. What?
Was that a cat, or did the cat push that door open, or did a ghost push the door open for the cat?
The cat's not in the room.
No, a cat just walked
the cat's in the room. I just saw the cat.
Here. The cat's here. Hello.
But how did the cat get from behind you to there?
He's been working out. He's been doing like 5-kilogram dumbbells every day.
Oh my God, I can see its
like
reflection on the left with the purple light in the background. Oh,
well,
Milo's a little shadow running past.
Milo's the he, George.
Them. Did you assume their gender? Wow. So yeah, on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode of Final Destination, the series where we rank things and maybe talk a little too much about things that we love. We'd love to thank the 2 other people that were here today that tries to keep up with me.
Liam and David, thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And at this point, Nick, it's been announced.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nick's here too. Hashtag goals. So Yutaka, thanks so much. All the best. God bless. Alex, all the best to you and the bird bath. Alex, if they don't know where to find you, and I think it's so stupid that we say this every time, because if they don't know, then I can't be saying it all the time. But like, where can people find you?
Just
I
don't care.
He's around.
No.
Type in Pug a Pillar on Google.
Just click the name on the title.
Yeah. Can I? Well, I'm gonna.
Well, you're going to.
Yeah, I am. Just search Pug-a-Pillar Happy Death Day. You won't be upset.
Oh.
You will not.
Okay.
I promise you. It's gonna give you your goddamn life.
I'll tell you what is upset, or what was upset. My stomach.
Until you got nuggets.
Almost had to get that thing pumped.
Nuggets.
It's one of my favorite videos ever. I do mean that. Just watch it.
How you going, buddy?
If you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Patreon. It's Patreon's in the link description below. You get early access to episodes, you get access to our after hours, and you also get access to watch-alongs and live streams that are exclusive for you.
And we have to watch Twilight New Moon, unless y'all vote, and then we have to watch The Notebook.
Please. watching Twilight.
And
also,
that's a Patreon exclusive, so come join us.
It's so exclusive. It's behind a paywall. And also you can follow us at the Horror Hour TV on Twitter and Instagram if you're common and you can't pay for Patreon. So just want to say thanks. I'm joking, guys.
This
it's a
is why
joke.
George is still on an allowance, you all. We foster this.
Exactly. God love you all. I don't know why I say that. I don't believe in it. The aliens are coming. UFOs. OMG. Hashtag the fourth kind. Mila Jovovich. Check it out. It's found footage. Bye, everyone.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.